fight that makes sense for Bud Crawford is it.
For sure. There's no fighter out right now that's bigger than Crawford Canelo. No fight.
I agree.
No one saw it coming, but Terence Crawford came out swinging in a live interview. Only this time, it wasn't power. It was panic. While most fans assumed he was locked in on a rematch with Errol Spence or maybe a clash with Jermell Charlo, Crawford dropped a curveball. His true obsession is Canelo Alvarez. After months of quietly pushing behind the scenes, Crawford finally got the green light. But instead of soaking in respect, he snapped at critics, demanding they stop doubting him. The problem? Words don't move mountains. And most of the boxing world still knows where the throne...
With Terence Crawford, you know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to...
sits firmly under Canelo. Crawford may talk loud, but legacy is proven in the ring, not interviews. When the subject turned to Canelo, Crawford didn't flinch. He leaned in, stared down the skepticism, and made his intentions crystal clear. There was no bravado, just cold, focused hunger. This wasn't about headlines or hype. It was a line in the sand, a fearless challenge from one elite fighter to another. No fluff, no
speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Kovalev was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level.
Games, just pure grit from a man who refuses to be overlooked. This wasn't noise. It was a statement. Let's not pretend the doubters haven't been loud for years. Crawford's too small, Canelo's too strong, the weight gap's too wide. But greatness isn't built in comfort zones. That noise fades the moment a fighter like Crawford steps up, undaunted, daring to defy every...
I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments, just off of pure hate. So what would they be able to say with me going up 2 weight classes? If Canelo become undisputed again and I beat Canelo, what could they say? They'll say something, but...
Limit thrown at him. This isn't about size, it's about legacy. And when legacy's on the line, real champions don't back down. Crawford's heard it all, and he's had enough. In that same fiery interview, he dismantled the idea that Canelo's size makes him some invincible giant. With zero hesitation, he called out the double standards, slamming those who hide behind weight like it's some unbreakable shield. He made one thing clear. He's built his legacy by walking into danger and beating bigger men. He's not chasing handouts or shortcuts.
I need the doubters to fuel me. I need the people to say, oh, well, look at his fight against Madrimov. You know, what you think he'll do if he go up 2 more weight classes? I need that, you know, because that's gonna make me more focused and turn into a different animal. So I need the people to say, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not strong enough, or this person gonna knock me out, because that makes me get up.
He's demanding a real fight on real terms. And if Canelo truly is the best, then he shouldn't need protection from a man bringing nothing but skill, grit, and a point to prove. Terence Crawford has been defying weight classes for years, yet somehow the boxing world forgets. Have they already developed amnesia over the Errol Spence massacre? Spence wasn't just another opponent. He was billed as the stronger, more rugged champion in his prime. But Crawford dismantled him like it was a sparring session, not a super fight. Every round was a masterclass in timing, power, and...
As you move up in weight, some of the time they say, like, well, you move up in weight, you lose some of the power. But do you feel that you'll still be able to maintain that level of quickness moving up 2 weight classes? I mean, that's going to be 14 pounds, moving up 14 pounds. Are you still going to be able to possess, because they're
control. That kind of surgical destruction doesn't happen by accident. So when Crawford says he can break down Canelo Alvarez, it's not arrogance. It's history talking. If he turned Spence into a shadow of himself, why wouldn't he believe Canelo could be next? Now, the war is officially on. Canelo versus Crawford is happening, sooner than anyone expected. Locked in for September 13th, the dream fight is finally a reality. Tickets are already on sale. Originally slated for September 12th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, a last-minute college football conflict forced a change. But Turki Alalshik didn't blink. He went bigger. Now absorbed into Riyadh season's blockbuster PPV slate, the fight is the hottest property in boxing. Cities like Las...
Well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168. Yo, wait, no.
Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and New York are all vying to host it. Whether it lights up Saudi Arabia again or lands in a major U.S. arena, one thing's certain. This is no longer a fantasy. And with Tyson locking down exclusive global rights, the stakes are massive. This isn't just a battle between 2 elite fighters. It's a defining moment that could reshape the sport's legacy. For years, fans
said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. No, 2, 3 weights plus less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not?
Watched Canelo sidestep the Crawford question. The excuses were familiar. He's too small. Not in my weight class. It doesn't make sense. But real fight fans saw through the smokescreen. Now, Crawford has stepped fully into the arena. The challenge is real. The excuses are gone. And for Canelo Alvarez, there's nowhere left to hide. Let's be real. Terence Crawford's resume leaves no room for excuses. He's conquered multiple weight classes, unified titles, and dismantled elite opponents with surgical precision. The size argument?
I don't want to fight Mexican is because I represent Mexico. And that's why. But I don't care. I fight anybody. And I fight all my entire life, anybody. What do you think? I don't want to fight with Juan Mexico or Benavidez. But look, I hear his dad talking a lot of shit. But look, what he's
dead. Crawford isn't moving up for hype. He's chasing greatness. He's testing himself against the so-called king. That hunger? Unmatched. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez, still a global star, has been coasting. Since the Bivol loss exposed cracks in his armor, he's chosen safer fights while Crawford has been hunting giants. The contrast is stark. One man is chasing legacy, the other is guarding it. Crawford is the total package. Speed, footwork, timing, ring IQ, and knockout
Tonight, Terence Crawford was with Turki Alalshik at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshik calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
not coming.
Power, all fused with a killer instinct reminiscent of both Mayweather and Pacquiao. He's not just a challenge, he's the ultimate test. If Canelo beats him, it cements his legacy forever. But ducking him? That would have written another kind of legacy, the kind fans never forget. In today's era, where narratives spread faster than punches land, avoiding Crawford would have branded Canelo a cherry picker for life. He had no choice but to sign. And now, there's no turning back. Let's break this down. Canelo brings brute force and relentless pressure. As a natural 168-pounder, He's built like granite, with a chin that stood up to some of boxing's hardest hitters. His body shots, he grinds opponents down. But across from him stands Terence Crawford, a master technician and a menace in the ring. Slick, calculated, and always adapting. Whether southpaw or orthodox, he switches effortlessly mid-combo, baiting mistakes and punishing them on the spot. This isn't just a fight, it's a collision of legacies. Crawford's defense is ghost-like, his timing razor-sharp. What we're looking at isn't just a fight, it's a brutal chess match.
Cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height-wise, he's kind of small.
Raw power versus surgical precision. One wrong move, and it's checkmate. Absolutely. Canelo Alvarez has proven he can handle slick, elusive opponents. Just ask Mayweather, Bivol, or even Lara, who pushed him to the edge. But if Crawford maintains his speed, timing, and stamina at 168 pounds, this becomes a true 50-50 battle. Both men possess elite skills, and both have tools that can turn the tide at any moment. Every round becomes a puzzle, unpredictable, dangerous, and razor close. It's the kind of fight
says that Canelo wins a hater for saying that he's too big and he's too young, in his prime age, and Crawford is a bit over the hill for Canelo and stuff like that. All you need to do is listen to Crawford.
Nah, I would never think me and Canelo would fight. He's 168, 175, and I'm just 147, so.
Everybody keeps bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird.
We can do something at a catch weight, 160 or something.
What's the highest you could fight at, realistically?
I think 154 will be my max, given the age. I'm about to be 36.
Boxing fans dream about, where skill, power, and heart collide, and there's no clear favorite. This matchup has sparked fiery debates across the boxing world. On one side, you have fans swearing by Canelo's brute strength, his super middleweight experience, and devastating body shots. On the other, you have believers in Crawford's elusive movement, his ability to adapt on the fly, and his tactical genius. It's a classic clash, raw power versus cerebral skill. This isn't just a physical test, it's a mental war, a battle of strategy, heart, and pure will. Crawford isn't stepping in just to compete, he's coming to dominate, taking on a legend like Canelo, moving up in weight, and still calling himself the favorite shows the unshakable confidence and fierce mentality Crawford carries every time he laces up the gloves. This isn't just another bout, it's a defining clash for this generation. If you believe Crawford versus Canelo is the biggest fight of our time, smash that like button and drop a comment below. Who do you have winning and why? We're all ears. Let the debates begin.